Now let's work on building out our restaurant screen. We can see that we're using a stack widget here, and then putting the image down first, and then we're stacking 2 icon buttons on top of our image. Below this we have text in a column, and this is in a row here, where the restaurant name and the distance is. And then below that we have another row with 2 flat buttons that say reviews and contact. So in order to build out our restaurant screen, we need to use a container. If we use a list view, then our image will not be able to go underneath our status bar. So to show you guys what that would look like, we'll create body, and for now we'll use a list view, just so I can show you guys, and then we'll change it to a column after. So we'll make the stack has a child, and that will be the image, asset image, widget.restaurant.image URL. And if we save that, we see that the image does not go up to the very top because the status bar is here. But now if we remove this list view and replace it with a column, hit save, we see that the image now is able to go underneath the status bar. Now let's edit the height of our image. We'll set it to 220.0. And then to increase the width, we will do media query .of context .size .width. And that's going to equal the width of our screen, no matter what size it is. If we hit save, we see that the image moves to the center. And to make it expand to all sides, all we have to do is add the fit boxfit.cover. Now let's add the 2 buttons up here, so the back button and the favorite button. To do that, we'll go right underneath our image widget, and then we will add a row widget. And this row widget is going to have 2 icon buttons. Icon button, icon, icons dot arrow back iOS. We'll set the color to colors.white, and the icon size will be 30.0. And then don't forget to add onPressed, because we need onPressed to activate navigator.popContext, and that's going to pop our screen away. So hit save, and we see that the icon's up here. And now let's add the second icon button. Copy paste that. Icons.favorite. And then the color, instead of doing colors.white, we'll use theme.ofContext.primaryColor. And hit save. And let's increase the icon size by a little bit. And for the onPress method of our favorite button, we can remove navigator.pop and then have empty curly braces. If you are adding functionality to the app, you can add favorite functionality right here inside the onPressed. And then let's add main axis alignment dot space between, so the icons separate from each other and stick to the sides of the screen. And then lastly, let's add some padding. Edge insets dot symmetric, horizontal 20.0, vertical 50.0. And hit save. Now if we click back, we see the screen segues back, and then favorite doesn't do anything. What I want to show you guys how to add is a hero animation. And what that's going to do is when we click on any of these restaurants here, for example this one, the image is actually going to animate and expand into this image here. So what we have to do is wrap our image here with a new widget called hero. And then hero requires a tag, which is basically an identifier, so the app knows which image to animate to the image in this screen. And the tag here will be widget.restaurant.image URL, because our image URLs are all unique. Let's copy that, reformat, and then in the home screen, where we do build restaurants, we need to wrap the image here in a hero widget, hero, and then add the tag for restaurant.image URL. and hit save. So if we look at our data.dart file, we can see that the image URL, they're all unique to each of these restaurants, and thus we can use it to identify the image that we're trying to animate. Now if we click back, we see the image just shrunk down into the original image. If we click this one, we see the image animates up. And it works for all of our images. If we slide back on iOS, the image doesn't animate back, but if we click, then it animates back into its original position. Now let's finish up this section of the restaurant screen. We're going to have a column widget, and then the first element in the column widget will be a row with 2 text widgets. Then we're going to call rating stars to populate the number of ratings, and then a text widget underneath that, and then 2 flat buttons inside a row. So let's go below our padding widget here, and we're going to create a column. That column will have children, and then the first is a row, children, text, widget.restaurant.name, and that's how we're accessing the restaurant we passed in to this screen. And then we have text 0.2 miles away, which is just the distance we hard-coded. Hit save, and we see that our text appeared up here. And that's because we're still inside our stack widget. In order to make the text come outside of our stack, let's cut out our column right here, and then we need to look for where the stack ends. And that's right here. And then we have a column, so we want to put it right outside the stack, and hit save. And now our text widgets are outside of our stack. Let's style the text. Style, text style, font size 22.0, font weight.w600. And then for the text here, style, text style, and we'll add font size 18.0. And as usual, to space these out, all we need to do is add main axis alignment to our row and set that to dot space between. Let's add some padding around our column. So hover over column, command period on Mac, add padding, edge, insets.all, 20.0, and hit save. Now we need to add the rating stars underneath the row widget here. So let's go beneath the row, but still inside the column, and we'll call rating stars, import that, widget.restaurant.rating. Hit save, and now we see our rating stars appeared. The last thing we need to show is the restaurant address, right here. So let's put a size box first, add some spacing, 6.0, and then text, widget.restaurant.address. Style, text style, font size 18.0. And then to make the text left align, we go to the column, and then cross-axis alignment.start, and hit save. Now let's add the 2 buttons at the bottom, so reviews and contact. And we're going outside of the column widget here, but still inside the main column widget. Row, children, and then the first child will be a flat button. This flat button will have padding, edge insets, dot symmetric, horizontal, 30.0. After that, we'll set the color to theme.ofContext.primaryColor, which is the deep orange color. And then we want to set the shape of our flat button. And in this case, we want it to be slightly rounded. So the shape will be rounded rectangular border, border radius dot circular, 10.0. And then we just need the child, text, reviews, style, text style, color, colors.white, and the font size, we'll set that to 20.0 and hit save. And the reason the button's not showing up is because we need to add the onPressed method. So at the bottom, onPressed, and we'll leave it empty. And now we have our first button here. Let's copy paste this and put it right underneath our flat button. This time we'll call it contact. Hit save, and now we have our other button. And then to add the spacing between them, all we'll do is main axis alignment. And this time we're going to use main axis alignment dot space evenly. And that's going to put even spacing between our buttons and the leading and trailing portion of the screen.